you just have a Nintendo Switch or are planning to get the system. That is great. The only problem is that all of the best titles obviously cost money and will in most cases set you back up to $60. That is unless you're okay with just playing free demos, which gives you at the best a 2-hour taste of games like Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, Bravely Default 2, Dragon Quest XI S, and Pokemon Let's Go and so on. Link to all major free demos on the Switch is in the link below. Or what if you want to play longer games for free? Check out one or all of these great titles, but first be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as both of those are also free to do. The same goes for pressing the notification bell and again for all notifications.
Let's start with a few games that are free under a condition. That being, you have to have an active Nintendo Switch Online subscription. Since with the Nintendo Switch Online, you have access to a big library of retro NES and Super Nintendo classics for free. And the same goes with Super Mario 35, if you're playing before March 31st, 2021. Luckily, one major game stays here for free no matter what: Tetris 99, the battle royale where you don't have to shoot to win, only outlast your opponents. This Russian classic is absolutely brilliant and adds the challenge against 99 other players, and pumps up the difficulty clearing row after row at higher and higher intensity. This game is no doubt a perfect selection if you're not really into our next entry. No list about free Switch games can be without the ultimate free battle royale, Fortnite, which is free to play with or without a Nintendo Online subscription. And that is great, seeing that Fortnite is a game that offers plenty of fun whether you're skilled or not. The path to Victory Royale is more than just taking down opponents, as side content tied to crafting and fortifying is just as crucial to later build barriers and deflect weapons, and get away alive from win or lose situations. Oh, and dancing. Fortnite may be from 2018 on the Nintendo Switch, but thanks to its constant updates and new timed cameos, it's as fun to play today as it was when we were first able to jump into the battle bus after E3 2018's Nintendo Direct. Fortnite is the largest free-to-play battle royale on the Nintendo Switch, when we don't have other free games on the Switch like PUBG and Apex Legends. But luckily, there are many other free Switch games like
Jump Rope Challenge, a completely free Nintendo first-party game. And yes, Jump Rope Challenge is crude and incredibly simple. You just use your Joy-Cons, but in return it is made with heart during the difficult for all of us 2020. Since jumping with a digital jump rope is not only free on the Nintendo Switch, it is also entertaining and adorable with this rabbit that might help you get in shape, or at least jump around and get you moving while being bored at home. Even better, if you have 2 Joy-Cons, you can complete the minimum 100 jumps a day together with a family member or friend. It is also nice that the game tracks your daily performance and lets you adjust your targeted jumps to perhaps even 1000. No matter your personal shape, this little game that went from being temporary to permanent on the Eshop will no doubt keep you satisfied, as it is a completely free game. Something you very rarely see these days.
This next entry is in reality only the beginning of the game, but until the full game is released at an unspecified point in time, this is the complete game. Deltarune Chapter 1, developer Toby Fox's follow-up to the critically acclaimed Undertale, and what's title is an anagram of said title. Deltarune is a pure quality RPG experience, with a truly amazing soundtrack, characters, humour and setting that you absolutely need to try, as it greatly differs from Undertale, which isn't a bad thing. Instead of playing as one character, you are now battling as 3, in a classic turn-based JRPG party style. On your more or less linear path filled with enemies and obstacles, you will be able to fight and also spare opponents, and your choices will impact the ending, which encourages multiple playthroughs. The challenge is definitely there, especially if you go for the insane optional boss, which is a true test of things to come in the complete Deltarune, whenever it releases on other systems and Nintendo Switch. And in the meantime, I can't recommend Undertale enough. If you haven't already, it's incredible value for $15.
Now then, the remaining entries on this list are free to download and play, but much like Fortnite, do have some in-game purchases, in regards to cosmetics, but which aren't exactly necessary to play the game. So keep in mind that these games do not provide you all content for free. Let's begin with a well-beloved classic which became free to play in 2020, namely Rocket League. The FIFA games on the Nintendo Switch, they cost money and are terrible, while the car, football, soccer Rocket League is free to play. No tackle or offside rules to follow, and no yellow yellow or red cards. Just get that damn ball somehow across the goal line. An incredibly simple and addictive premise which until 2020 was not free to play, but luckily is now, and on top of that is one of the absolute best $0 experiences on the Nintendo Switch. Epic Games strikes again. First Fortnite, now Rocket League with its incredible physics, engine roars, tricks and battles for the ball. One of the absolutely most competitive games on the entire system, as technique and skills are everything, or you might just be lucky and have the ball fall straight down to you, ready to be scored. No matter what, you should download Rocket League for free today. The same goes for the next title.
Maybe not on the same quality level as Rocket League, but a good free-to-play multiplayer title, where the only microtransactions are for cosmetics and the single-player campaign. Stylistically compared by many to Nintendo's own Splatoon, Ninjala plays a little differently and has a learning curve that is a lot more punishing than Splatoon. This ties to the fact that Ninjala has a number of fighting game elements, but also comes with a point-based system where you get rewarded for combos. In other words, it offers a deeper level of strategy. It's a solid game experience which is worth returning to as it's constantly updated by developer Soleil. The story may not be on the same level as Splatoon's, but in return this is not a $60 experience but a free-to-play game. And with that in mind, you get a lot of value for not even spending any money.
Road Company. Another game much like Rocket League, which this year became free to play on the Nintendo Switch. And from a gameplay perspective, we actually think that this is a far more interesting option than Fortnite, as Rogue Company isn't a simple battle royale, but rather a multiplayer team-based third-person shooter with elements from Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, and even Overwatch. With great gameplay, ever-expanding modes, and unlike its veteran brothers, costs $0 to enter. There's no wonder why many players have been moving from Fortnite to Rogue Company. This game is a great choice for all of us who want to play team-based shooting matches from time to time, but without the need to purchase the game to enjoy it. And if shooting as the main objective is less enticing for you, then we have the perfect alternative, namely Vigor. Set in post-apocalyptic nuclear northern Norway, Vigor is a growing and incredibly impressive looking free-to-play title from Bohemia Interactive. A deep open big map third-person survival game with first-person shooting. The premise is simple: shoot, loot, survive and build. The first one of these is rather obvious and similar to most of Rogue Company's modes, but this game truly shines through its looting and runaway system, which allows you to get away safely with whatever loot you have collected. And that, along with the beauty of authentic Norway with signs, buildings and landscapes found in the game, is what makes Vigor a special experience. A game that rewards both shooting but also looting without shooting, and then using your loot to slowly build your dream Norwegian home in a fjord-based hub world. Building your home quickly is less important, then Vigor can for the most part be enjoyed without spending any money, and that is good.
If you want even bigger guns and free to play, then World of Tanks Blitz is perfect for you. Do keep in mind that World of Tanks Blitz is a lesser version of the original World of Tanks, and does involve microtransactions if you're not willing to wait, much like Super Kirby Clash. In other words, it's a mobile game-like experience that may not be as enjoyable as some of the other games on this list. But just so you know, World of Tanks Blitz and Super Kirby Clash are games that heavily rely on microtransactions, unless you're willing to wait longer to advance through the game. That is why we will end with two other entries. First of these is Proletariat's Spellbreak. Another battle royale title, but with a beautiful art style, elemental gameplay, power-ups and ever-expanding content, and eventually a single-player campaign. Spellbreak truly excels in its gameplay, as instead of playing with ammunition, you're casting spells, and do not play as a soldier but rather a mage or wizard. Every character has elemental powers, and these can be used for both offensive and defensive purposes. Think Avatar: The Last Airbender, but in free-to-play third person. Aerial control is crucial in Spellbreak, as it elevates your classic battle royale setting to a new territory, with a better than most other battle royale soundtrack, and it makes sense as Spellbreak has such a promising premise that is just waiting to be fully fulfilled by its developers in the coming years. The only downside outside of some still lacking content is the at times under 30 frame rate, which hopefully will be addressed with a Switch revision in 2021.
Last but definitely not least, we have Warframe, a game I've wanted to talk about on the channel for a long time, but which I never could find the right video for, but that changes today. Since it is truly incredible that this game is free to play, an absolutely stunning game with an interesting premise, sword, bow and gun gameplay, and most of all a lengthy intergalactic journey. With that being told, Warframe does have a big downside in its size, as it will take this 20 GB to download. It is a massive action role-playing third-person shooting game with breathtaking visuals, which I dare to say is one of the best looking on the Nintendo Switch. The fact that this game is at the same time free to play with optional microtransactions makes it a must with motion control gameplay, as yes, you can use your Joy-Cons. This in part makes the Nintendo Switch version of Warframe the best version of the game to play across all systems. It is a true gem of a free-to-play game that you can play for hundreds, even up to 1,000 hours.
To be fair, there are plenty of games that you can play without spending any money, and more are coming to the system. And one of these games that we have to mention is Genshin Impact. An ugly duckling which started as a near complete Breath of the Wild open air ripoff has grown into such a beautiful swan on the PC and PlayStation 4 in 2020, and hopefully the Nintendo Switch in 2021. When it launches on Nintendo Switch, as the developer is already planning a Switch version, then play it, as it's a massive story-driven anime game experience with beautiful and varied environments and some of the best open world gameplay since The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
We will definitely make a new video after this free-to-play game comes to the Nintendo Switch, but until then, be sure to leave a like on this video, share it so more people know what to play for free on the Switch, and subscribe for more Nintendo Switch videos in 2021 and onwards with the notification bell and all notifications on. Also, if you're willing to spend $5, then buy Among Us on the Switch, as it is fantastic and will have more than one map in 2021. Buy it, if not, then you sus. Finally, a big thanks goes to all our great patreon.com/commonrealm patrons, and most of all our royal producer Charles Shash. Oh, and please enjoy one or both of these two awesome videos.